Hi, I'm Supriya. I am the founder and creative director of FOReT. We are a PETA approved vegan and a sustainable fashion brand. At FOReT, we make use of sustainable practices, responsible materials that are conscious and are better for the environment. Fashion is a very personal statement. It is more like a personal branding that we have. And there, nobody wants to compromise. There, nobody wants to change their style statement because they want to be green. And at FOReT, we keep the customer as the central point, as the focal point while designing our products. Now, our products are made from eco friendly materials. Now, when you think about eco friendly materials, everybody has a very different thought about it, that maybe it's not durable, maybe the material may not be that good looking as a fashion accessory, or maybe there is some kind of a smell attached to it. So there were various kind of myths that we had. Now we wanted to create products that break through all this barrier and create something which is so unique and so exclusive, but at the same time that customers can adapt and imbibe them as a personal accessory. So one of the challenges that we had is to educate customers about new materials. We work with banana fiber, we work with cork, which are new age materials, and we wanted customers to understand from where it comes from, how is it sustainable, and why do you need sustainability in your life. Second thing is that in India, we are a very traditional market when it comes to our jewelry. And we wanted to use this influence, this love that everybody has towards using jewelry as a personal style statement, first to enter into the market when we are talking about a plant based accessory. And to create the identity, to break that mold about how a jewelry should look and the kind of materials that traditionally go into it, that was a design challenge for us. Third thing is that these are materials, which most of them have not seen, they have not felt, they have not experienced it, and yet you have to create a product around it which should be appealing to a customer just by looking at it. That was the other identity that we had. And the other thing is that because you're talking about totally different kind of materials, their finish is different, their feel is different, the way you work with them is different, it's very difficult to find artisans who can really work around them. The components that we use in our jewelry, or some of them in the way we try to make our designs, they are very different than what's available. So we had to again start from scratch to create these materials, like, to create these raw materials that can work and create the kind of design finish that we needed. So initially, we had to go through all of these transitions, these challenges, and even now, somewhere we still have to go through them to kind of bring about a product that we feel is, up to the mark that we need, and the type of product we feel would be appealing to our customers. So this is the backdrop, of the things that we had to do when we initially started. See, primarily the product came about from my personal experience. So when I was working in a corporate role, I was not from the fashion industry. I was working in another industry. I was working primarily in aviation. And growing up, because I was always cued to sustainable practices, I wanted an accessory which again reflects this ethos, and that's where I designed a cork bag for myself. It was much later that I decided that okay, this is a an idea that can be shared with everybody around us. When I actually started looking into it, but by that time I had already kept the product with me for a very long time, and I knew how durable and nice it was. So when it came to launching this kind of product, this was a totally different strategy. And while we were working about the product design and we were working about how to market it and all, I came across a fest which was happening only for vegan customers. Now, this was a perfect audience to try the product, to test the product, to test the communication strategy that we had. And we participated in the fest while all these things were happening in the background. So we did have a few finished products which we had that day to market. And by evening, we were sold out. So we were sure about that, okay, this product is viable to work in the market. These are the price points that we can work with. And everything was, by that time, we had spoken to the customers. We understood what questions they were asking us, what answers we had to give them, where they couldn't figure out what's happening here. So that helped us create an entire marketing strategy, the storytelling that we had. And from there, it started working on. we consciously started marketing our product only through our website, because that's where we can tell our story to the fullest, where customers can come and understand what exactly the product is about, what exactly the materials that we're talking are about. So that was the beginning about how we started marketing the product. So fulfillment and logistics, for us, it again starts from the customer's perspective. When we get an order from the customer, we always get in touch with the customer, talk to them, understand from them. And so far, we've not really faced questions which ask like, okay, how is this material? Will it break? Will this happen? That happen? We've not faced any such questions, and all most of the questions are related to how would it be when they wear it in the hand, what is the size, and they are simple questions like these. So when we get in touch with them, we it's like a relationship that is building at that point. So after the product has been again delivered to them, again we get in touch with them. So with this process, what happens is that we have very fewer returns. It's mostly exchanges, primarily due to size issues, but we don't have any of those issues where there are lots of returns happening. And because it's a handmade product, because it's a made to order product, we because we get in touch with the customer to understand his needs and requirements, it's far more relationship centric than, I would say, the way it happens in a typical consignment where you just ship the product goes out, and it's the end of the story. No, it doesn't work like that for us. For us, there is a personal rapport, that there's a constant engagement, a constant communication that is going on with the customer. So that's how we do it. Well, I would put it like this, that there are lots of fast fashion brands out there in the market, and there are very few sustainable brands. So I really don't think it's a competition, but I think together a healthy mix is really required for a customer to get a better choice. And from our perspective, we are only looking at how much forward we can push ourselves to give something new to the customer. How can we look at raw materials and give them a new identity, so that it's far more presentable? At the end of the day, the ethos of our brand is to promote natural materials, to give them an idea, to give it a feel to our end customers so that they can easily accept them. And to do that, there is a lot of research, there's a constant innovation that is happening from a design perspective, from a packaging perspective, from the different types of raw materials that we have. So because of all these things, I think competition is healthy, but we're really not looking at competition at the moment. We're just trying to compete with ourselves every day so that we adopt more better practices, so that we can reduce wastages, so that we can look at how we can optimize the resources that we have, and how we can bring in more materials, and how can we bring in more sustainable and ethical background to the entire chain.